was kind of unique was the next game, the same hitter hit the official first home run in Nicholson Field. So after that home run, though, we do have a pitching change. Looks like coming in will be number 26, Haruto Mizuno, the younger brother of the senior last year, Shun Mizuno. So he's going to warm up. I'm going to step away, and we'll be back for the rest of the ball game. We're in the top of the fourth. 8-3 Stoloff. All right, Haruto's finished his warm-ups. Haruto is a sophomore from Irving, Texas, Carrollton Ranch View High School. First pitch hit on, and a one-hopper out to Tristan Lander out in left field.
Third baseman number 26, Cole Cleveland.
Mizuno comes in with a 7.11 ERA. His fourth appearance, 6.1 innings pitched, 5 runs, all of them earned. 3 walks versus 4 strikeouts. Pitches in the dirt. Paulson slides over, gets his glove on it. Keeps it right in the left-handed batter's box. So now 1-0 pitch for Mizuno. Off speed misses the zone, so we go to 2-0. So King finishes with 3 innings pitched, 8 runs, all of them earned. Gave up 9 hits. Pick off by Mizuno. Good thing Plinko's tall. But the Scots do have a good offense this year. They just need to try and start putting some zeros up on the board defensively and see what their bats can do. Kleeman, who comes in 1 for 2 with a double, swung through that one, so the count goes to a 2-1 count. Off speed. This one's hit hard to right field. It's going to one-hop McCaskey. Lavin just scampers into second and stays there. So back-to-back singles after the pitching change. And St. Olaf is threatening again.
First baseman number 19, Kaden Kriefel.
That brings up Kriefel, who's 2 for 2. 2 singles and a run scored. So St. Olaf did come in at 5-11, but they played some tough teams on their 3 road trips. I think they took 2 trips to Florida and a trip to Kansas each one playing about 5-6 games. The first pitch with Kriefel showing bunt. He pulled back, and it was a ball. Mizuno checking the runners. He does show again to bunt. He bunts it right back to Mizuno. The only plays at first. And there's no one covering first. So a little confusion there with the infield. Planko is charging hard, which is typically in that situation. But Gumage went to cover second, even though Peacock was already standing there. So miscommunication. No one out now. Bases loaded. Unfortunately, that does count as a hit. Even though there was a chance at that, unfortunately, just no one's at first base. So the corners now are in up the middle. They're playing for the double play. So that does have us up with Woodside, who's 0 for 1, who did have a sac bunt last inning. Wind's picking up here. We're almost blowing directly out to center field. So pop up to the outfield, will probably score a run. Because not only will the wind take the ball deeper, but also the outfielders will be throwing into the wind, which can knock the ball down on their throws. 1-1 count now. Mizuno delivers. Paulson slides over and stops the breaking ball, and we go 2-1. Now the delivery, off speed, up in the zone, swung through and fouled back by Woodside. So we go 2-2, no one out, bases loaded, 8-3 lead for St. Olaf. Right near the middle of the game as we're in the top of the fourth. A little grunt on the off speed, and Woodside swings through it. Great job by Mizuno coming back and getting that strikeout. That brings up Brecken Hadley, 0 for 1. Popped out to shortstop to end the first and also hit a sac fly for an RBI last inning. The lefty steps in, the catcher today. Another off speed, tried the backdoor curveball and miss. This time the backdoor curve hits the plate, and we got strike one, 1-1 count. Another off-speed swung over the top, and we go 1-2. Good job there by Mizuno, taking a little bit off that curveball and putting it lower in the zone, so Hadley had seen the rotation on the first two breaking balls and thought that he had picked it up, but with the drop in speed, it actually broke a little further than he thought. Another one, this one's grounded, and that's through the 3.5 hole. One run is in, and it gets past McCaskey. And he's got to get out there. The coach is going to hold the runner at third, so an RBI single. I think they were sending the runner at second. So it's going to be a 2 RBI single because the coach was sending the runner, but then as the ball gets past McCaskey, it allowed the runners to advance to second and third. Otherwise, they would have stopped at first and second. So 2 more runs come in, and now second and third with 1 down, and the infield comes in.
Second run scored on the air.
No. The coach was sending him, so it's not. That one's earned. So now Mizuno again pitching. Misses. 3-0. The first 3 missed there. So honestly, it wouldn't be that big a deal to walk the guy here. He does drop in an off speed for a strike. The reason I say it wouldn't be a big deal because it sets up the force. It allows the middle infield to drop back and play for the double play. So it gives them more range side to side to make the plays. And you still have a force at every base. But this one swung through and we go to a full count. So Mizuno said, Clark, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to go after this guy. So after falling behind 3-0, he's now brings it to a 3-2 count. One down, runs on second and third, 10-3 ball game. This one's soft fly to right field. McCaskey's in. He's going to get under it. And they're going to fire home way offline, but the coach held the runner. So no harm, no foul. And we get the second out of the inning on that fly from Pasteria. And that brings us to the top of the order. And the ninth hitter to step to the plate this inning, leadoff hitter Dex Puttock. So Mizuno trying to get out of this, trying to minimize it, keep it within striking distance for the Scots. Off speed stays up in the zone, or stays up out of the zone. 1-0. Infield drops back with 2 down now. Another off speed misses high. So we go 2-0. You almost hear the windmill from the press box. That one is low on the off speed, and he falls behind 3-0 again. Hitter on deck is Mason Buck, who's 1 for 2 with a walk and a double and a strikeout. Not sure if the batter called time, but the umpire called time and then went and started talking to the batter, so I don't know if he just hadn't gotten into the box soon enough or went out of the box. Might have been catcher calling time for a shoelace issue. Those aren't too common. You usually double knot them. But either way, 3-0 count. Mizuno delivers. In there for a strike. Swung through, strike 2. We go full. Looks like actually Steele's going to go play a little catch. Just because it's been a long inning with the pitching change and a couple hits. This one's hit hard, fielded by Peacock. And he flips it to first, and that's ends it. But 4 runs. 5 hits, 1 McAllister error, and 2 runners left. And we're going to the bottom of the 4th. 10-3 ball game. St. Olaf has the lead. With a walk, a double, and 2 runs scored. Off speed misses in. This one's hit hard up the middle, and that's going to be a single. So Buck attacks the fastball after seeing that curveball miss the zone. They'll bring up Henry Black, who chased King from the game last inning with a 2-run home run. Lefty's in the box. Mizuno checks the runner. Decent lead at first base. Off speed swung through by Black, and strike 1. Second pitch is off speed, a looper. Paulson tried to catch it and bring it lower in the zone, but Umpire said it crossed the front of the plate a little too high, so we go 1-1. Kind of the old Liam Bowen gravity ball as that next pitch is swung through. Liam Bowen was a freshman when I was a senior, and his pitches were his curveball was about 62 miles an hour, and we'd always call it a gravity ball, that it broke more because it was going so slow. The next pitch is swung on, strike 3, so good job by Mizuno coming back after a leadoff single to get the strikeout on Black.
Right fielder number 22, Frank Lavin.
I'll bring up Frank Lavin, the first hitter that Mizuno faced, and Lavin got a single off him. And on the game, he is 2 for 3, home run, single, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. Off speed stays up this time, and it goes to a 1-0 count. Big lead. He thought he had Mizuno timed and was gonna go. And that one got him in the jersey. Hope he doesn't need to ice that. Like, you could tell, like, it just barely clipped the jersey. I don't even think he got skin. But as soon as it went past him, he just immediately, like, pulled his jersey out and pointed to it. Like, it hit me. Which is smart to do. If it hits your jersey, that counts as a hit batsman. But that does put runners on first and second. This one's grounded, and Jones is unable to field it. That's going to be E5 and load the bases up of Ole's.
Matt, just E5F, right? Fielding? Yeah.
So that brings Coach Pennington out. It might be Mizuno's last batter, and it is. So we're going to have a new pitcher coming in. Looks like it's going to be number 14, Elliot Rowley, sophomore from South Pasadena. And I will step away.